Have you ever looked at yourself and thought, what is happening to me? I mean, you're more emotional than you used to be. Things that normally wouldn't bother you suddenly feel overwhelming. You're exhausted. Maybe you're gaining weight. You're not sleeping well, or you're just struggling to concentrate or remember things. And the hardest part is you just don't feel like yourself anymore. If that's where you are right now, I want to talk to you. Because there was a season when I didn't feel like myself either. And eventually I realized that what I was experiencing wasn't just stress. It wasn't just getting older. I was truly navigating perimenopause and menopause, and nobody had prepared me for what that could actually feel like and look like. For me, my menopause wasn't simply about hot flashes. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions we have as women. We hear menopause and we think hot flashes, night sweats, and your period stopping, you can't have babies anymore. But nobody really sits you down and tells you your emotions may change, your energy may change, your body and the way you are made up may change, your sleep may change, your ability to handle stress, that may change too. Even the way you feel about yourself as a whole would change. And when several of those things start happening at the same time, it really can make you wonder, where did I go? Okay. I want to share too, when I first noticed that I was possibly in perimenopause and things started changing, I had had all of my children and things just began to get weird. Okay. And what I wish someone had told me, that you can be strong and still struggle in this season. I mean, you can love God and you can live by his word and still have days when your emotions feel completely unpredictable. You can have a wonderful family, purpose and a calling, a career and ministry, and still wonder, like, where's the woman I used to be? I think this is the part that we don't talk about enough as women or as people, because we're going through this with others too, right? Because when your body changes, people can see some of those changes from the outside, but they cannot see necessarily what's happening on the inside of you. You know, maybe you're more irritable. Maybe you're crying and don't even understand why you're crying. Maybe you're anxious about things that never bothered you before. Maybe you're sitting in your car. Maybe you're sitting in your car right now and you're thinking, I just need everybody to leave me alone for 5 minutes. And you're not alone there. Let me just say that. And then sometimes comes the guilt, because you're thinking, I'm a Christian woman. I'm a woman of faith and I should have more peace than this, right? Or I'm a wife. Why am I so irritated with my husband? Why don't I want him to touch me? Or I'm a mother. Why don't I have the patience that I used to have with my kids? Maybe you're a leader and you're thinking, why am I struggling to hold myself together in front of people? But one of the things I've learned is that acknowledging what you are experiencing doesn't make you weak. It's very important to do so. It gives you an opportunity to actually address what it is you're going through. Okay? My reset didn't happen because I discovered a magical solution. It only started when I stopped ignoring what was happening to me. I started paying attention to my body, and I started learning and getting information from wherever I could. I started looking at what I was eating, how I was sleeping or the lack thereof, how I was managing stress, what I was allowing to consume my thoughts. And as a woman of faith, I also had to pay attention to what was happening spiritually and emotionally in my life. because I truly realized that I couldn't, let these pieces of myself just get pulled in different directions. I'm not just a body. I'm not just my hormones. I'm not just my emotions. I'm a whole woman. I'm a whole grown woman, right? But spirit, soul, and body, emotions, and purpose. And I believe that we have to care for the whole woman. Now, if you're in this season right now, there are 3 things that I want you to leave this video knowing. Are you ready? First, do not ignore what your body is telling you. Talk to your healthcare provider, ask questions, learn about perimenopause and menopause. If something doesn't feel right, don't automatically dismiss that as I'm just getting older. And if that doctor doesn't know, find a new one. Second, I want you to give yourself permission to make some changes. What worked for you at 30 may not work for you at 45 or 50. Your body probably needs something different, right? So your schedule may need something different. Your boundaries may need something different. And that's okay. I want you to know it's okay to be different. Third, don't lose yourself trying to get back to the woman you used to be. This is so important. For a while, we can become so focused on getting the old me back. But what if you're not supposed to go backward? And I'm telling you right now, you're not. You're not supposed to go backward. What if this season is inviting you to discover who you are becoming right now? And that's when things change for me. Because instead of constantly asking, how do I get the old Teresa back? Where is she? And how do I get that back, or running in that direction? I could begin asking, who is the woman that God is calling me to become in this season? Which is different from the last season, right? And that's actually one of the reasons that I'm hosting something called Whole Again on August 20th. It's for the woman who has spent so much time taking care of everybody else that somewhere along the way, she stopped checking in with herself. And maybe menopause is part of your story, right? Maybe it's motherhood. Maybe it's marriage, ministry, your career, disappointment, transition, or just simply life itself. But something inside of you is saying, I want to feel whole again. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in that room. So if this is speaking to you, I'll put the information for Whole Again in the description below. That's what we're calling it, Whole Again, because it's important. I'd love for you to join me there if this resonates with you. But whether you join me or not, I want you to hear this. Your life is not over because you're getting older. You're actually becoming wiser. You've gone through some things. You got the t-shirt and you can talk about it. You haven't missed your moment, by the way. I want you to know that. And this season doesn't have to simply be something that you survive. That's not what we're looking for. There may be a version of you on the other side of this season who is really stronger and wiser and healthier and freer and more grounded than you've ever been. Okay? Maybe you're not losing yourself. Maybe you're meeting yourself again. Maybe you're needing to be reintroduced. And this time you're meeting the woman you've become. Now, if this video spoke to you, please tell me something in the comments. I'd love to know your story. What's your story? What's one thing that nobody prepared you for about menopause or perimenopause? I really want to hear your answer because we're going to continue this conversation. This is just one moment in time. And I want you to subscribe. And if you want to walk through this season with me, join me on the journey. We're going to talk about menopause, midlife, faith, purpose, and what it means to become whole again. So I'll see you in the next video. And until then, bye-bye.